Hello, I'm Cathy Whittle and I work in the nutrition space here at the Domino Foundation. And this is Jabu Nkomo. We met in the health and safety space, that's where she works, and we brought Jabu into our programs to try and train our creches in first aid. First aid and health and safety was really, really important in our creches. During that time, we started to chat, we started to speak, we spoke about nutrition. And we know that in South Africa our diets are starch heavy. We know that our people are sick. We know that very few people that we know they're all on either diabetic or blood pressure, any type of chronic medication. And we have tried, we've spoken, we've trained, we've done a lot of training and a lot of speaking, but it's very difficult to train an adult's diet and an adult's way of thinking. And so we have started to think that it's got to be through the kids, through the children. So we are empowering our creche owners to empower our little people in our creches. Why do we do it? Jabu, you and I have chatted about this.
Yes. First and foremost, when I started training the teachers, ECD teachers, we realized when we are asking them, when we are in an area in terms of exercises and all that they weren't doing many because of resources and because, again, to them that was not at that time very important. So you came with a check sheet, evaluation sheet to check their
stunting, their wasting and obesity.
Yes.
We measure all of our kids.
Yes, so that's where we realize that we need now to bring in nutrition. So that's when you asked me to develop training material to train the ECD teachers of how they can make the lives of the little ones better. So I've started there developing the nutrition where we cover from the basis what the kids are bringing through the gate of their creches, and we find that they are bringing all sort of junk food. So we have to teach the teachers to say no to some, but they were having a problem because parents want to give the kids, or kids want this sweet or that chip. So we started this program now. We are seeing that it making the life of the teachers much better, because now they have a reference that we've attended this training, and this training, our training material also have recipes. So within these recipes, what are they going to eat for breakfast, for lunch, and maybe a snack during the afternoon. So it has helped a lot of creches, the crèche owners, and also the teachers. And the kids are enjoying now the new nutrition program that is being started by their creches.
But it's not easy. It's not easy. I mean, it's hard to change mindsets. It's hard to change people's thoughts and ideas. But as Jabu says, once they've got a reference and they can say to parents, actually, I've done this training, and you need to give options. You can't just say, oh no to chips. You've got to come up with solutions and options for them to present. And you can have as much information in your head, and you can have thoughts on how you want to do it, but as far as implementation goes, there's no ways I can go and implement that to people in a community where I haven't even been raised. So somebody like Jabu, she is invaluable because she understands the challenges, she understands the people, she understands the culture, she understands the thought process, she understands the kids, and she can take the academic and transfer it into this beautiful community context, which is something that I could never do.
Yeah.
So I think what we've worked out is this amazing collaboration that the two of us, Jabu runs in her space, I run in my space, and together we can really push through and hopefully the dream, I think, what is the dream? The dream is to be able to potentially change creches in an area and then give evidence that there has been change through our measuring of our children with stunting, wasting and obesity.
And for
then
them,
roll it.
Yes, and for them to know exactly what is right, what is wrong in terms of consuming, what are the external and internal effect of whatever they are putting in their mouth. Yes, you are right, it's very challenging because one, the teachers too are coming from these communities. So sometimes it's difficult now to tell your neighbor not to give your child this food or that food. But from them, we started with other creche, and what I find is that the owners and the teachers that have attended the trainings that you have offered in terms of ECDs, they understand better, and those who are coming from being employees who started the business after being employed, they have put measures in place to be successful in their career. So those ones are much easier to convince to change. But those that just started the creche, whereas for desperation that they want to make money, it's becoming difficult for them because they are even afraid to charge the parents the right amount, because they feel that they are going to lose. So for them, we presented that they can also grow their veggies. So we haven't really evaluated that this year to see how many have started that, but some have started to buy together in bulk so that they can buy healthy food from the wholesalers. So so far it's looking, I think we've got about 4 creches that are combining their buying, because then they have a buying power.
And I think it's also when creches understand the value that they have in a community.
Yes.
Like you say, they're not just a daycare facility,
Yes, yeah.
a free daycare facility. When they start to gain confidence in what they are presenting and what they are offering, then they can start to understand that there is value in charging school fees, and maybe a little bit more than the lady down the road. And those parents will be able to see that they are getting value for those school fees. It's more than just nutrition. It's putting a self-worth and an identity and value into that creche owner, so that in turn will filter out into those kids and hopefully families and communities. And
that's what we want to see. The nice thing is that the Domino volunteers and employees are also part of this training. So when we train, it's easy that we leave people who are going to ensure that they are always checking on them whether they are doing what we've just learned. So with that program, it's also helping them that they're also part of the program, and they have said that they really enjoy it, because some of this, for them, they were just going there to leave the food and stuff and not worrying about how other food stuff are being prepared. But now they have much knowledge when it comes to nutrition. So I think we are in the right direction, and to empower the teachers, the communities, and also the kids, because they grow up knowing what is right. The sweet is not right to take in the morning, or when you're going to sleep, you need to eat veggies and all that. It's really helping.
We can make inroads and see a ripple effect, a domino effect, start to change little people's lives and communities and families' lives. Then I think for us, I think that's the dream, is the change.
It is. Because looking back in our communities, black communities, the veggies, especially the cabbage, let me start with the cabbage and the beans, communities from rural areas were deemed to be eating that because they don't have money to buy better food. So the veggies, and it was deemed as the food for people who are still in poverty.
Yeah.
So when you're eating now the burgers and chips and all that, now you have stepped the ladder of getting yourself out of this poverty, and now your status is like now better. So you have to give your children these chips, these sweets, this chocolate, so that you are being valued, that you are the parent who are within the space of having status. And now the veggies and all that, it's no longer really matter at this point in time. But now it's all that it's changing. Like you said, it's not easy to change that mindset, because it's a poverty mindset to like, this is a nutrition mindset that we need to sell to everyone.